Today's lesson is Chapter 2, Lesson 4, and it's learning about equations. And today we're going to talk about equations and making sure both sides are equal. So every equation that we have is going to have two sides, and it's separated by that mark right there. And of course that mark is an equal sign. And an equal sign means that things on both sides of it have to be equal. For example, 5 is equal to 5. 5 is not equal to 9. Well, we're going to look at equations and we're going to make sure that they're correct. So, our objective today is to be able to check equations to make sure that both sides are equal. Now, since there's an equal sign in the middle, that means that when we're looking at equations, both sides of the equation have to be equal. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at sides with variables and sides with constants, and we're going to make sure that they match. And it's going to give us a solution. So for example, if we have an equation, x plus 3 is equal to 9. We know that since there's an equal sign in the middle, whatever x plus 3 is, it has to be equal the same as 9. It has to be worth 9. And so what we need to think of in our head is, what do we have to put in place of this letter to make sure that this side is equal to this side? And today in your homework it's going to give you an option. For example, it might say x is equal to 7. When it gives us x is equal to 7, all we have to do is we look back into the equation, and wherever it has an x, we're going to plug in what it tells us. We're going to plug in that 7. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug in that 7. So now we get 7 plus 3 is equal to 9. And so 7 plus 3 is 10. And we've solved there. So what we get is 10 is equal to 9. So if they gave you that solution, 7, would that be correct? No, it would not. So x is not a solution, or x equals 7 is not a solution. You can think about it in terms of a scale. Let's see if I can draw a scale here. Think about it in terms of scale, and the equal sign is right in the middle. Both sides have to be equal, otherwise it's going to fall down. That's like if I had Bean in one arm and Bell in another. They would not be equal. So, when we let's look at another equation, for example. Let's say x divided by 2 is equal to 8. So what it's going to do today is it's going to give you another solution. So for example, x equals 16. Whenever you see x is equal to, you go to the equation and you just plug in the number it tells you. So we're going to plug in 16 in there. 16 divided by 2. Well, we know that 16 divided by 2 would be 8. So 8 is equal to 8. So 16, yes, is a solution. That's all you're going to do today. All you're going to do is you're going to plug in the number that they give you for an equation, and you're going to make sure the equation is balanced and that one side equals the other side, because there's that equal sign in the middle, and that means that this side has to be the same as that side. So I'm going to have you try 2 right now. Let's try x times, oops, we're going to use a dot there, times 4, oops, I'm going to put it up there, sorry, brain fart. X times 4 is equal to 16. And your solution is x equals 4. Pause and figure out if that's correct. Okay, you probably were able to do that in your head if you know your math facts. Plug in 4 for 4, so it would be 4 times 4 is equal to 16. Well, 4 times 4 is 16. So is 16 equal to 16? On planet Earth, it is. So 16 equals 16, so yes, 4 is a solution. Let's try another one. This one's going to be a little more to it. How about 5y is equal to 15? Remember, when there's a letter right next to a number, what does that mean? It means 5 times y. It means the same thing as 5 times y. So let's see, if y is equal to 4, is y equal to 4 a correct solution to that equation? Pause and find out. Okay, so you know that all you have to do is plug it in. Now, what some people are tempted to do is just do this. Plug in and say, oh, that's 54. But we know that 5y is equal to 5 times 4. So we're going to do 5 times 4, which is 20. And is 20 equal to 15? It is not. So we know that that is not a solution. We're going to do one more here. We're going to say 16 is equal to 3b plus 4. And we're going to say b is equal to 4. And I want you to solve and figure out, is that correct? Pause and solve. Okay, so right here what this means is 3 times b. So what we're going to put is 3 times b, which is 4. So 3 times 4. So that would give us 12. 12 plus 4. Well, 12 plus 4 is 16. So is 16 equal to 16? Yes, it is. So 4, yes, is a solution. Okay. So that's all there is to that lesson. I'm going to give you one challenge problem that you need to solve, try to solve for tomorrow's class. Challenge problem would be, okay, so your challenge problem is going to be 4x plus 3x minus 4 is equal to 9. And I want you to try x is equal to 2. And you need to tell me for tomorrow whether that's a solution or whether it is not a solution. That's all there is. See you tomorrow.